Hey CEOs, I'm excited to talk to you about this topic. Now, this is my jam. Like in this video, we're going to talk about the difference between a salesperson and a CEO, but we're also going to help you question and ask yourself, are you a salesperson or are you a CEO? I'm excited to get into this topic. It's something that's very near and dear to my heart, and it's going to open up a lot for you as a real estate business owner. Let's get into it. So, this concept of going from salesperson to CEO is something that it is the hallmark, or I would say the bedrock of my thinking as a coach and how I see making the transition from being a real estate agent to a real estate business owner. I don't think I could talk about this topic without first getting into what is a salesperson and then what is a CEO. What are the differences between the two? How do they think different? How do they function different? And why does a person or a realtor need to be a salesperson at some point in their business and a CEO at other points in their business? I know you didn't ask, but guess what? I'm glad you asked. So here's the thing about real estate. When you get your license, it says Cheesette Cowan, real estate salesperson. I'm licensed in 2 states, so it says salesperson. What that title does, it's an indication that you are selling a product. Believe it or not, and a lot of people really don't understand this, you are selling a product. And we have to just be very clear about that, because if we're not clear about that, then we're not going to take the time to develop the skill set necessary to actually get great at selling the product. But here's what I want you to understand. And the Bible talks a lot about double-edged swords. So a double-edged sword means that it's going to be good, and it's either going to be better or good and bad, but it has two fundamental functions, right? So when we think about a double-edged sword, me as the real estate agent, salesperson, that is me in the player mode of my business. I am learning how to run the business. I am taking training. When you are in a real estate salesperson capacity, you're going to be in sales training. You're going to be scripting, understanding marketing, learning how to do the things that drive the actual sales portion of your business forward, because the purpose of business is profit. As a real estate salesperson, you have opted to choose the product of real estate to sell. So you have to get great at that. However, even if you get great at that, even if you know why you got into it, which is where a lot of people come in, that I know why I got into real estate. I want to help people. I want to show them how to navigate through this process. I want to do it effectively and be really good at it. And this is where it stops. However, what you have to realize is everything that you have going on in life, period, has a business component to it. You're married. That's a business. Money comes in, money goes out. Anything where money comes in and money goes out at different increments, and you have to be accountable for checks and balances, accounts receivables, deposits paid, etc. That is a business. And the number of people that are great at operating in a real estate sales capacity, but terrible at operating in what it takes to actually understand, own, and run a business, oh my gosh, it is disparaging to say the least. I would say about 70% of the people that I coach do not understand what it takes to run a business. As a CEO, I am only concerned about the sales to the degree that I have to make markers and project numbers about what my business will do. So I have to be very in tune with the sales portion of my business, because the sales portions are going to make my predictions for the business side. However, in the business side, I got expenses. I got cost of sale. I got salaries. I have wages. I have insurance. I have investments. I have employees. I have a marketing budget. I have one-on-ones that I have to do. That's the business side of it. This is what we call working on the business. This is what we call working in the business. Here's the challenge. So many agents spend their time working in the business. This is effort. It takes hard work to work in the zone. I believe in your effort zone, you have 3 to 5 years, and then you're going to burn out. The goal is to work this effort side so tough, so systematically, that you build something that you can now pass on to somebody else, so that you can get out of the player mode of working in your business and now get into the CEO mode of working on your business, which is where I am at now. I spend more time planning out the projection or the trajectory of my business in the next 1, 3, and 5 years than I do lead generating. Do I lead generate? Yes. Do I have systems in place? Yes. Do I have help for people to help me do that? Yes. Why do they help me? So that I can go be a better CEO. Here's what the CEO is worried about: the growth of the business. I'm looking at sales and saying, okay, sales are down. What do we need to do? And then I'm now, because I know that my sales are down, my numbers are up, or my cost of sale is down, or whatever it is that I'm projecting, I understand what I need to instruct the player to do. I understand what I need to instruct the sales component of the house to do, because there's always a back into the business. And to me, the travesty is all of your money is going to be made over here. This is the efficiency zone. The CEO is driving business efficiencies. That's why they're not concerned about everything. They can only be concerned about the biggest thing moving the business forward, and that's profit, and that's money. That's money coming in and mitigating the cost of money going out. So this person has to function in this capacity in order to even understand how to operate here. I don't think I would be a great CEO of my business if I didn't know how many sales it took to convert to a transaction being closed. With that being said, I can now manage my time. How I started to make this transition is literally I started documenting everything that I was doing, how long it took me to convert leads. I literally started tracking leads from the time I put them in my database. The reason why if you know me, I'm meticulous. I don't have a conversation with anybody without it going in my database. And a lot of people are like, oh my God, you are so obsessed over that database. Let me tell you why I'm like that: because I need the data. I need to know I talked to this person 22 times before I converted them. I need to know that I talked to this person 52 times. And in that 52 times, I was able to get 10 referrals, 5 pieces of business, and make $192,000. Why do I need to know that? Because if I want to make $192,000 again, all I need to go back and do is trace my steps. The travesty is making money and not knowing how to repeat it. I'm going to say that again. The travesty in making money is not knowing how to repeat it. The CEO is looking for duplicatable processes that they can use to reverse engineer or manufacture the same results, if not better than they got last time. This is why training, coaching about just sales, if your goal is to be a real estate CEO, is not going to be enough. This is why when we were creating the blueprint, I didn't create just a training program. It is not a training program. You can go to your brokerage for training. I believe all brokerages have great training on sales. I believe they're going to equip you on the sales piece. They're going to show you how to operate here. However, what our blueprint membership is doing is telling you how to systematize what you're doing here so you can track the data, so that you can take that data and now make it to a CEO. And now you start making CEO decisions. Let me give you an example of the CEO decisions I make. The reason why I started a title company, the reason why I started a mortgage company, the reason why I started a moving company, the reason why I started a transaction management company was not for the money. Be very clear about that. I had profit in my first business, which was my real estate business. I started it because if you look at previous videos, I said there are 3 fundamental parts of business excellence that you have to have. And I'm talking about across any business, not just real estate. Any business has to have these fundamental drivers. You have to have financial success, system success, operation success, systems, operations, etc., and customer experience. The financial piece is going to be the very first piece you pay attention to, because it's going to drive these two. If I'm tracking financially what's going on in my business, it's going to tell a story of what systems that I'm missing, and then it's going to tell a story of what experience that the customer needs to have. So when I started tracking my customer experience, I was losing customers because they were having bad experiences with title. They were having bad experiences with the lender. When I started this, I said, I need to bring that in-house so I could control not the people, not the business, the customer experience. That's the third pillar. I wanted to control the customer experience. I wanted, when they came into Intercross Consulting Group as a client, we got Intercross more financial. We're going to take care of your mortgage, and I am involved in that. We have Intercross Title. I'm going to take care of your title. We have your transaction team, LLC. We're going to take care of that. And the moving company, because when it's all said and done, we want to reward you for using us, and we get to let you use our trucks for free. It wasn't about the money. Those things did lead to money. Those businesses did turn out to be profitable and make me money. However, that was not why I got into it. I got into it as a support to my primary CEO business. See, necessity is the mother of invention. The only reason I created those things was so I could create and run this business more systematically. Having those systems in place, guess what that means? Less phone calls. Guess what that means? Less checking in. Why? Because I own those companies. I already have the stuff coming to me every week. It's like clockwork. My presence is already involved and infused in that. And this is why we help customers create ancillary businesses. We help our scale 7 clients create businesses. We don't just create businesses for the sake of creating businesses. We create businesses after we've sat and assessed your whole business, and we determine what strategic things you need to do to increase your cash flow, to increase the value of your experiences with your customers. Because when your value is higher, you can charge more. Hello, somebody. Did y'all get that? When you have more value, you can charge more. Hey guys, thank you for tuning into this video on Salesperson to CEO. As you saw, this is my passion. This is why I got into the real estate coaching business, because I wanted to make sure that people understood how to make money. Real estate is a rewarding industry, but I think the hardest thing to do is be in this industry and be working hard and not making money. I didn't like it. And I only did that for about 7 months. And I said, you know what? Let me start to really get a grasp and understand the fullness of this industry so I can come in and take advantage of that to the fullest and live the life I want. So thank you for tuning in, but I also want to present an opportunity to you. We are in the process of revamping our curriculum at the CEO of Real Estate, and I am just very excited about all the webinars and things that we're doing. However, I'm excited about the new content coming your way that's going to show you how to put your business on autopilot and make more money. I'm going on vacation for an entire month. My business is on autopilot while I'm gone. I'll still have closings. I'll still do consultations. I'll still be having showings being done. Why? Because as a CEO, I learned how to leverage that part of my business, and that's what we want to teach you. So if you don't have a training and coaching program that you're plugged into that is helping you figure out how to get the most out of your business, we'd love to see you in our programs. We're going to put some information here, and the resources that we offer are also going to be at the bottom, and we'd love to see you. Look forward to doing business with you.